Welcome to meditation. So in tonight's lesson, we're simply going to sit in contentment for 20 minutes. The video won't be 20 minutes, but I'll get us going and then kind of leave silently, and you can continue to meditate for as long as you like. So this is a type of meditation where we sit in contentment. So it's similar to the types of meditations where we watch the breath, but here we're not even going to do that, right? We're not going to worry about sitting on mats, and we're not going to worry about many of those things. We're simply going to sit in contentment. So this is what we want to do in the present moment. We're going to also use this sitting in contentment, calm and peaceful. No need to change anything drastically if we're content, right? But we're going to run a little test in a way, right? We're going to sit in contentment. And then we're going to watch to see whether there are any energies in the background of our consciousness that are competing for the present moment, right? This can happen over time, when we begin processes in the past based on things we fear or on trauma and these kind of things. And these programs, of course, work in the background and continue to work even in our present moment today. So when we decide that we will do nothing in the present moment, this opposes these types of energies, right? Which are already on the move, and which oppose stillness, right? So it helps us to look at some of the things running in our background of our consciousness to see whether these are healthy things or whether these are fears and traumas that we can examine, so that just like untying a knot in a string, we can look at it and examine how this knot formed, how our consciousness is constantly on a journey, even though we wish to sit still for a few moments. And we can bring that journey to an end through some sort of healthy method, so that this energy can now sit with us in the present, in stillness, right? We untie enough of these knots, we sit in stillness completely, right? So let us begin this meditation simply by closing our eyes and relaxing and beginning this process of sitting in contentment. So it's always good to check with the body first, just to make sure that we're comfortable. This meditation should cost no one anything, right? So we make sure that the legs are comfortable, that we're seated comfortably, and we begin to sit in a kind of cooperative contentment. And again, for those of you who do not know quite what contentment feels like, it's best to pretend. Just to pretend to need absolutely nothing. And anything that we bring to us in today's practice, pretend we have brought them all these urges and anxieties and things that kind of just won't really settle down easily. Pretend we brought them in big leather bags, beautiful leather bags where they'll be very, very safe for a few minutes while we meditate. And let us set those bags down in the corner for a few minutes, right? Just set them down. They are well protected. And now we can be content completely, knowing that we can pick up our worries at the door. So let us sit in contentment for a few moments in silence. Remember, we do not have to look for anything to happen. We're not necessarily on a healing mission, and sometimes meditation is simply already a very calm and peaceful thing, right? If it becomes that way immediately, I would just run with it. Just relax and sit in contentment for 20 minutes, because this is the reward for all the hard work that you have done. But if we do find over this period of time that we are running into some parts of our consciousness that simply won't be quiet, we know that from this calm state, needing absolutely nothing, we can certainly sit and watch at first. The first thing we notice is that our consciousness seems to want to work on something else, right? 100% of our consciousness available, but now part of it works against us, leaving us feeling less than at full power, right? We cannot gain strength through argument, only weakness, right? Energy working against itself always produces less energy. This is why cooperation is the seed of love, right? Love, if it was a plant, the monks would say, it would have to be the seed of cooperation that was planted first. And from that seed, love grew. So cooperation is a seed of love, right? And if we foster cooperative relationships, we will begin to see fruitage in our life. So this is a different approach to an energy that works against us, right? After all, we do not need anything. As some Buddhist teachings teach, we can simply watch this energy and kind of ignore it in a sense. Just not give it our energy, and then we would have at least reclaimed our energy, and this would have its energy, but we would have more energy than if we would have if we had fought this thing. For fighting always reduces energy, right? So this is the first step up. The first step from arguing to watching. The second and most powerful step is the step of cooperation. To work with this energy in such a way as to form a cooperative and healthy path. For if our energy and this energy would come back together, then we would have complete energy again at our disposal. So we sit calmly and watch, looking for opportunities to work with energies without force, without pressure, calm, open, and loving. For meditation allows us to see how our energies are working, whether they are working together or whether they are working against themselves. And we can allow ourselves to look at these things because these are energies that we ourselves put in place in the past. They are written in our language and with our thinking. So it is us that are particularly able to untie these knots for they are tied in the way that we would tie them, with our way of thinking, with our linguistics, with our method. So slowly work at these knots of energy in meditation, always while sitting in complete contentment. And as these knots undo willingly through knowledge and love, our energy will return to the single state where it began. So meditate on these things as I leave the meditation now, and enjoy the quiet calmness as you sit in complete contentment.